A very good morning, everyone. Welcome to StudyIQ English. Welcome to the news analysis class today. I wouldn't say welcome to the Hindu newspaper class because today there is no release of the Hindu newspaper New Delhi edition, but that doesn't mean that we have nothing to discuss. In fact, we have quite an exciting session today because today majority of news articles are spanning across geopolitics. They are all spanning across international relations. So, in fact, you might enjoy today's lecture much more because we are traveling all the way, not just West Asia, but also to Russia, Ukraine, also to North Korea. So, in fact, it has made the discussion even more fascinating. Before I show you which topics I have selected for us to discuss, here is the quick access to the QR code of Telegram channel. You can become a part of this growing community for various kind of UPSC updates, PDFs and other initiatives that we shall be launching. And now here are about 7 topics that we should cover today because they are making headlines. They are quite fascinating. We start with looking at how in Iran around the Strait of Hormuz, the controversy is becoming more complicated now. Initially, it's only about oil supply disruption, but today, as many as 22 countries are coming together against Iran. They are making a coalition which is planning to force Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. Will they be successful? So, we shall be looking into that. And before I start breaking down the first article with you with lots of map work, here's a great and a warm welcome with lots of love and blessings to Sumit, Satya, Bhuvnesh, Neelam, Kavish, Yogesh, Priyanshu, Shlok, Shakti, Yuvraj, and Ramu, Kaizen, Munna, Manoj, Iba. Okay. And who else? Vikash, Shreya. Okay, then. Welcome to the class. And as other students keep joining, let us initiate from today. From the first article for the day. Wonderful. So, what's the first topic about? The first topic is, of course, about West Asia. So, you can have a look at the map. Once again, the same map, you can have a look at Saudi Arabia this time. You should focus on the area of Saudi Arabia, which is very closely having a boundary with two countries, Yemen and Oman. Now, multiple times we have seen this map, haven't we? We also know that Yemen is always in headline because why? It is always in headlines because of Bab el-Mandeb strategic choke point that it commands. And at the same time, it's also in headline because of the Houthi rebels. Who finances the Houthi rebel? Iran finances. It is a part of axis of resistance. And then you also know that Saudi Yemen, the long border here, is also an area where we find the Asir mountain range. Houthi rebel, absolutely. So, in fact, Yemen is a proxy war. I repeat that again. Northern Yemen, completely characterized by Houthi activities supported by Iran, Shia militancy, and southern Yemen is then a proxy war between two other countries, UAE and Saudi Arabia itself. The area of STC, very good Vikash, Southern Transitional Council. This area is very familiar to us now. We see Iran. The entire world right now is battling about the Strait of Hormuz. After all, it's about 30% of global energy, gas reserves, crude supply. We know the Persian Gulf area. Yesterday, we have seen the ecological sensitivity of Persian Gulf area. Yesterday, we saw how Persian Gulf has its own biodiversity. It's a very saline water body, but today it is experiencing utmost degradation. Then we know the Bab el-Mandeb, the arrow-shaped Quesham Island, the Kharg Island here, Bandar Abbas Port, Chabahar Port, all these are familiar with you. So what's happening in the news right now? So in the news, there has been an interesting development as Mr. Trump has now completely become frustrated. Mr. Trump had tried to propose a 15-point peace program, but Iran declined to sign that. Both the parties today, who are at war, US versus Iran, have put some unreasonable conditions on each other, and nobody is going to fulfill those conditions at all. Why are they highly unreasonable coming from America? Because it was America which had broken down the JCPOA of 2015. And now America wants another agreement with Iran. In reality, it's not even an agreement. It is about forcing Iran to completely end its nuclear program, making it strategically vulnerable. Iran would not do that. In fact, Iran says, I don't want any peace program at this stage. Let's continue the war. Yesterday, we saw, and we were also laughing about it, Pakistan has chosen to mediate between these two countries. But that has made Iran even more angry, actually. So, as US is sending 1,000 elite troops in the area to control any future prospect of Iranian attack on various military bases and gas fields in West Asia, all of these are American allies, we know that. But this has made Iran more angry. Iran says there is no need for a third party mediation. It is a bilateral war and we will settle the war only by fighting it out. After the death of top supreme leader, after the destruction at Kharg Island and Quesham Island, after civilian damages, Iran sees no scope of negotiation, which is also quite valid actually. So, in this backdrop, another interesting thing has happened today. As Iran said, it is now allowing India and some other very friendly countries to Iran to move their ships from the Strait of Hormuz. Now, finally, after weeks of complete blockage, Iran has decided to show some mercy and consideration for its allies. Of course, Iran has no official ally. Unlike America, there is no ally in the war that Iran can boast of. Iran might argue that there is Russia, there is China, there are countries to support Iran. For example, India also condemns the death of Mr. Khamenei. Many other countries do. But there is no active supporter. But Iran is now ready to favor those countries which are neutral and which support the cause of Iran's self-defense. So Iran has said, I will allow a safe passage to the ships and oil tankers of some selected countries, and that includes India. And that's a wonderful piece of news because it might mean India's own energy and crude insecurity coming to an end. Now, yesterday in the news, we saw how countries like Japan and Australia are already standing at the brink of energy lockdown. Emergency protocols are being rolled out in these countries. All of them are starving because of lack of crude, lack of LPG, LNG. Naturally, because not just Hormuz, today something has happened even in Bab el-Mandeb. Now, what has happened? I will shortly talk about it. But right now, most of the countries that are swing states, especially Asian countries, and then countries like Australia, South Korea, they are depending on Russian Ural oil. But Russian Ural oil also has a limited supply capacity after all. And China is the biggest consumer and Russia's friend. So therefore, most of these countries are facing deprivation of energy. Now, this is a happy news that Iran has said, I am ready to supply and allow the passage of certain ships from friendly countries. But it has made America more angry. Now, Mr. Trump is feeling heavily insulted here because when he wanted Iran to open Hormuz, Iran completely denied. In fact, Iran said, I am going to, it's happening in Iran right now. Iran is right now considering a bill in the parliament of Iran that might now allow the government of Iran to impose a very heavy fine on every commercial ship and oil tanker that will pass through that region, Hormuz. So therefore, that is an insult to the US and the allies of the US. On the other hand, it's a big victory for countries like India, which will now get some oil. Now, there is another interesting thing that has happened. India has launched an operation. What's the name of that operation? Operation Urja Suraksha. Now, this is slightly new. Operation Urja Suraksha. India launched Operation Urja Suraksha to escort, to bring safely energy ships that are caught up around the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea area. So we'll remember the name of that ship. And what are the main points this article is covering? Article says Iran is saying now only my friendly countries, countries whom I believe in. Example, India, China, Russia, Pakistan and Iraq. All of these will be allowed to pass their ships, their tankers from the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has allowed all of these. This shows that Iran is now using the strait as a strategic leverage in the war. What's the strategic importance? We know that. Any disruption in Hormuz means a total shooting up of global oil prices, a severe shortage of gas and oil transport. We all have seen Cuba Haven't we? Haven't we seen Cuba? We have seen the situation of Cuba. When a country has no provision of crude supply, what does the country slip into? A complete blackout, a complete economic shutdown. That's what Cuba is experiencing, all because of American policy of isolating Cuba. But many more countries of the world are looking at that prospect owing to the closure of Hormuz. So, therefore, Iran has strategically allowed certain countries to ease out the disruption of oil and gas. How has India responded? Now, India has welcomed this step. India has appreciated the fact that Iran is at least allowing passage to friendly nations to support them in the economic crisis. Plus, Indian Navy is now busy conducting Operation Urja Suraksha. Now, what is Urja? For my non-Hindi speaking students, Urja means energy. Suraksha means safety. So it's an energy safety mission. Urja Suraksha mission. Under this, Indian Navy is now busy bringing back LNG, LPG, crude oil ships from this area. What's the aim? To protect India's energy security, to save the lives of Indian sailors who are caught up in the region. But the ongoing political tension still continues because although Iran has allowed safe passage to four selected countries, as I just said, China, Russia, Pakistan, Iraq, but it doesn't mean that Iran is ready for a surrender or a negotiation. Not at all. In the longer term, Iran will continue to charge a very heavy price also, and Iran will continue to use Hormuz as a strategic weapon in war right now. Okay? So, US is just consistently improving its military presence in the area. US is inviting countries to come and force Iran. And here Iran is negotiating on its own terms, saying, I am not ready to surrender or accept the war. But there is obviously a risk of wider conflict that will spread across West Asia in weeks to come. And why am I saying that? I am saying that because the next article will tell you that something more dangerous is going to happen now. So yes, absolutely. As Shlok is saying, $2 million per ship. Now this is nothing. In future, Iran may charge double of that also, giving waiver to few selective countries. But that's all about humiliating US and its allies right now. So now Hormuz is not just a choke point. It is a strategic weapon of war also. But this is again something that we know about. Nothing new here. But the next article here, the next piece of news here is quite scary because in the next piece of news we are realizing how from Hormuz now other choke points are also becoming unsafe day by day. But in order to deal with that news, it becomes important that we solve an interesting question first. All questions today are map based. I hope that you can answer each one of them. Let's see what's happening. Consider the following statements regarding the Strait of Hormuz. 1. Quesham Island, located near the Strait of Hormuz, belongs to Iran. Second, it is a key route for India's crude oil imports from West Asia. 3. It connects directly to the Red Sea. For you, it's an easy question. So can we try? Bulbul, Vikash, Shlok, Sumit, Ramu, Iba, Munna. Shlok answers first, followed by Vikash, Satya, Bhavna, Rajnishwar, Ramu, Amir, and Vanga, and then Santosh. And there is no split so far. Very good. Priyanshu. All right. Ramu gives an explanation as well. Shlok says this question is a cakewalk. Come on, we are pro at map now. Kavish, Avilu, Sumed, Munna. All right then. So now, sitting round of applause to each one of you. Of course, A is the right answer. For starters, it's an easy question. But then don't be too happy. First look at the second question and then we'll celebrate. But very well done. Very proud of you. Well done, Eric. Well done, Iba. And everyone. Very, very good. Absolutely. And Ramu and Santosh have given a very logical explanation. They are saying that first statement is correct because if you look at the map of Hormuz, we know that the arrow-shaped island here is the Quesham Island. It is in fact the largest desalinization plant of Iran, but US has hit this also. So therefore, 40 villages became thirsty. They had no drinking water. So it does belong to Iran. Correct. Now, second statement is correct. Absolutely. This is the choke point on which we completely depend. But third is not correct because Hormuz has no connection with the Red Sea. Nothing. On the map, you can see Red Sea is in the west. That's the west of Saudi Arabia, bordered by African countries on one side. Yes? And if you look at Hormuz, Hormuz is Persian Gulf. Ramu says, symbolically, we are all living in West Asia for the last few months, and I more than agree. Now, when somebody talks to me about West Asia, I feel they are talking about my native. I feel as if I belong to West Asia rather than Uttarakhand. I'm having the same phenomena right now. So, totally correct. But everybody very well answered. And now we can proceed with the second topic for the day. And the second topic of the day is also not going to make us any happier. I think it is again a cause of severe concern for most of the countries. As the news says, Iran has now been warning. Iran warns that it may also consider encouraging the Houthi rebels of Yemen to block Bab el-Mandeb Strait. So this is the power. Bacha, this is the power of axis of resistance. Now, a lot of students might wonder, is axis of resistance actually helpful? Are NSA actually supportive to Iran? Do they really make a difference to Iran's warfare? The proof is right here for you. Standing alone, Iran could not have controlled pan-West Asia. It could not have. Today, because Iran operates through decentralization model, not just its official revolutionary guard corps, but also all the NSA and axis of resistance that it maintains a very close connection with, Iran is able to simultaneously attack many regions of the world. Today, what is Iran saying? Iran is saying, enough of Hormuz. Stop crying over that, guys. Now time has come to even attack Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. If you think you can take me lightly, you cannot. Don't forget, not only does Iran control Hormuz, but Iranian axis of resistance called as Houthi, Shia rebel militancy group in northern Yemen has a very strong control over Bab el-Mandeb. So therefore, yes, axis of resistance does matter. That's really kind of you, Satya. Thank you, my dear. Good morning, Deepak. Now let's see what's happening. So we cannot see what's happening until we actually go and touch upon the map. So here's the map. It's a very elaborate map. So please zoom down your vision and bacha, please quickly come back to the Red Sea immediately. I request everyone to take a flight to the Red Sea. And please try to have a visualization of how the Mediterranean Sea in the north is connected via the Suez Canal in Egypt to the Red Sea. And where does the Red Sea come to an end? Where does the Red Sea come to an end? Bache, please look how Red Sea is closing like a loop. And where the Red Sea is closing down in its legs in the southern part is exactly what you call Bab el-Mandeb. Which country is on the right? We just saw the bigger map, Yemen. Which country is here? Saudi Arabia. So Yemen controls Bab el-Mandeb. And now, Yemen being a Shia country will support the closure of Bab el-Mandeb because it is an area dominated by Houthi. At least northern Yemen is the Houthi heartbelt. And don't underestimate Houthi. Don't forget in 2025, all the undersea cables in the Red Sea because of which you and I were hungry for internet were cut by Houthis. Don't forget, majority of piracy and abductions in the sea is done by Houthi. Let's not forget, they have the capacity to spread terror across Mediterranean and the Red Sea. Therefore, they control a choke point and that's not a joke. Yes, absolutely you can say that, Ramu. If you were living in a parallel world and if you are stuck in the Red Sea, then the only person that can help you is actually the Houthi rebels. So yes, with due respect to them, let's see what has happened. Now, after Strait of Hormuz, providing 30% of global oil and energy security has closed down and there is no immediate opening up of Hormuz. Even if Hormuz will open, it will only open selectively for countries which Iran wants to support. It's a tool of war now. So what's the alternative route that other nations have? Now that they cannot transport anything from Hormuz, naturally they will have to take a bigger route. And the bigger route is about Mediterranean, Suez, Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb, Gulf of Aden, and only then you can send any oil and LPG or LNG into eastern countries, example India, China, South Korea, Australia, Japan, whatsoever. Yes, but now bigger headache has come because Iran says that I am going to tell the Houthi rebels to now take an action, and I will encourage Yemen to close down Bab el-Mandeb. Yes, this narrow waterway between Yemen in Asia and what is there on the left side? Two countries, Djibouti and Eritrea in Africa. Which countries? Djibouti and Eritrea in Africa. That's where Bab el-Mandeb is located, Djibouti and Eritrea. Don't we know about Eritrea? Of course we do. Don't we know about the Tigray people? Don't we know about the Badmi area? Of course we are expert at that. Aren't we, Ramu? Aren't we, Shlok? Aren't we, Iba Munna? We are. Yes, so same Eritrea. Left side Africa, right side Asian country of Yemen. That's your Bab el-Mandeb. And very good, Satya. Absolutely, bache. Right here you have Somalia, Horn of Africa. Which country is called the Horn of Africa? Somalia. Recently, near Somalia, there is Somalia land. And who became the first country to officially recognize Somalia land? Israel. Israel. Very good. So what is happening now? What is Bab el-Mandeb then? Bab el-Mandeb is the narrow waterway between Yemen on the right, Djibouti and Eritrea of Africa on the left. What does it connect? UPSC's favorite question. What does it connect? It connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. Where is Gulf of Aden? It is in the ankle of Yemen. It is in the ankle of Yemen. Look at this. This is the ankle of Yemen. Yes. This is exactly what we call Gulf of Aden. It's a choke point. It connects Mediterranean, Red Sea, Gulf of Aden, finally to the Indian Ocean. So very, very important. It acts like a strategic gateway to the Suez Canal. If Bab el-Mandeb is closed, what is the benefit of Suez Canal? Tell me. Yesterday, I made a video on Panama Canal, the lock system of Panama Canal. Which two oceans Panama Canal is connecting? I also talked about the Gatun Lake. I made a video on that. I said in that video, Panama Canal is one of the largest man-made waterways apart from Suez Canal. But what is the benefit of Suez Canal if Bab el-Mandeb is closed? It becomes pointless. If Suez Canal is operating at full capacity and still Bab el-Mandeb is closed, where will the ships go? There is no outlet, because the outlet is only through Bab el-Mandeb into the Gulf of Aden and then the Indian Ocean. Otherwise, where will the ships go? They will have to return all the way from Suez to Mediterranean, and then eventually they will take an alternative route that you can see on the map. They will go to Atlantic. They will travel throughout Africa. They will experience piracy. They will experience choppy and tidal sea water. Finally, if they survive, they will reach Cape of Good Hope, that is South Africa, and then the Indian Ocean crossing Madagascar. Are they crazy that they will do that? Something you can do in 10 days, you will do in 60 days. What's the point? That's the beauty of choke point. What does Panama connect? Very good. Pacific and Atlantic Ocean. It is saving time and money for all the ships that pass in that area. Yesterday, I also discussed. It is a matter of controversy between China and the US. What? Panama Canal. But the controversy is not about ownership. It's about strategic control. China has also built a lot of infrastructure near Panama Canal through Belt and Road Initiative, and US doesn't like that at all. Okay. And which country owns Panama Canal? Panama. Since 1999. Which treaty? Under which treaty was Panama Canal given by US to Panama? Which treaty was that? Think about it. Otherwise, go and check that video. Okay. So this is the situation of Bab el-Mandeb. If it is so important, what's the new tension? The new tension is that Iran has issued a new threat. Iran is warning that if US continues its airstrikes and attacks, if US tries to even touch the Karg Island, the largest oil export terminal of Iran located somewhere here in Iran, northern Iran, Persian Gulf, then it will not be good, because Iran will tell Yemen to open up conflict in Bab el-Mandeb, to choke Bab el-Mandeb, and this means the war is extending from one choke point to another. From Strait of Hormuz to Bab el-Mandeb. That's the problem here. So what's the strategic importance, bacha? Strategic importance here is that 12% of global trade happens through Bab el-Mandeb. I'll write it here. No, I'm not going to tell the name of that treaty. Those who have to see, I have to play these intellectual gimmicks with you. You'll have to go and check that video. If I tell, everybody will forget. If you take the initiative, go to that video, I will get likes and comments, my personal benefit. What will you get? You will remember the name of that treaty. Okay. 12% of global trade passes from Babal Mandeb. Okay, I'm writing it here, bacha. 12% of global trade passes from Babal Mandeb. It is critical for oil gas container shipping between Europe and Asia. Now, do you see how beautifully Babal Mandeb is connecting Europe and Asia? Europe and Asia. Why does it matter globally? Yes, Reshma, Jalal. Why does it matter, Priyanshu? It matters because if Babal Mandeb is blocked, then ships will have to take the alternative route. And which is the alternative route? Bache, tell me quickly on the map. It's a crazy route. It's not easy to take that route. 10 times more money, 10 times more time, and it's unaffordable, absolutely. Which is that route? Now, if Babal Mandeb is closed, look, I am going through that route now. We'll go back to Mediterranean. Yes, Reshma, we come here to Atlantic. We cross the Tropic of Capricorn. We go to the Cape of Good Hope. Finally, Madagascar we will reach. There also pirates will not leave us. In case we are able to survive, then finally Indian Ocean. Now, who wants to take such a difficult route? It's not even established route. And that's why we need Babal Mandeb. Yes, if Babal Mandeb is blocked, higher transport cost, delay in supply chain, of course, unsafety for passengers and various kind of tankers, because then there is piracy and terror groups operating all the way here in other countries of Africa as well. There are migrants who are taking donkey route. Yesterday we spoke about donkey, illegal immigrant route. All these happen in these waters. So it's a very dangerous route. Then global oil prices will also soar more because it takes time for this strategic choke point to reach to Asia. If through Babal Mandeb you are bringing oil in 10 days, Cape of Good Hope means 3 months. So it's not easy. No, Satya, it's not Piratis. Okay, all right. So what's the role of Houthi militancy here, bacha? The role is that Iran can now use Houthi militants. Somalia threat is there, very good. So now Iran will use Houthi rebel in Yemen to disrupt shipping there. Perhaps also to put mines in the sea, in the Red Sea area. Perhaps also to make sure that undersea cables are cut. And that's a disaster for the world. That's a disaster for the world. This makes the region very vulnerable. And what is US reacting to this threat? Well, as of now, there is no much reaction coming from the US because even for US, it's a matter of shock. US wasn't expecting that, let alone Iran will reject my peace proposal and stop negotiations on Hormuz. Iran will start threatening Babal Mandeb. Now the real acid test for President Trump starts. Real threat. Because he used to think if Hormuz is gone, at least we can have alternate routes, like we can pacify Turkey to open Bosphorus and other straits. We can also use the Cape of Good Hope. We'll tell some European countries, okay, fine, use Cape of Good Hope. But now what? Now Babal Mandeb is also closing. Will people actually be able to use the Good Hope Strait so easily? No. So who will buy American oil or European oil? Nobody. Then who will buy what oil? Everybody will buy Russian oil. Anyway, there is no benefit. Coming to Mr. Trump. And what about the economic problems that all the West Asian countries, Gulf countries will have? At least they had a hope. Even if Hormuz is gone, we can take alternate land route and then do the transshipment from Babal Mandeb. If Babal Mandeb also goes, then who will buy Gulf oil? Nobody will buy Gulf oil. And if nobody buys Gulf oil because it will not reach people, then Russia rules the roost. Probably one oil barrel could reach up to $250, $300 per barrel. That is unprecedented. What's the benefit for US? Zero. Economic gain, zero. Russia becomes powerful. China becomes powerful. North Korea becomes powerful. It's the rival group. Second, the goodwill of Mr. Trump has gone for a toss. In future, what face will he show to Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi, Qatar? What face will he show? Nothing. It's a face false. So that's the problem here. Yes, absolutely. So what is US doing in response? First, US is trying to think what to do. And now US is again busy sending troops and naval forces to the area of Babal Mandeb also to secure the sea routes, because US says, I don't want any future disruption. So quickly, let's analyze the question here. I think it's quite an enjoyable question today. With reference to Babal Mandeb Strait, consider the following statements. One, it separates Arabian Peninsula from Horn of Africa. Bab el-Mandeb separates Arabian Peninsula from Horn of Africa. Think of the map. Second, it provides maritime access from Mediterranean Sea to Indian Ocean via the Suez Canal. 3. The island of Perim. It is also called Mayun Island. It lies within the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. And fourth, any disruption in the strait can force the ships to reroute around the Cape of Good Hope. Which of these statements do you think are valid? No problem, Yuvraj. You're welcome to the class today. And the paranormal phenomena has kicked in again. The moment I feel that the question cannot be answered successfully, it will cause confusion, it will lead to tremendous split, and I will have my last shakuni laughter. That's never happening for me. I don't know why, but you people just pull off this paranormal trick with me. The cheer-bati phenomena kicks in again, and there is no split in the class. Let me see who started the answer. It was Reshma, Gayatri, Vikash, Satya, Sumedh, Kavish, Rajneshwar, Shlok, Priyanshu, Vanga, Bhavna, Munna. Very good. Very good. Vaibhav, Yogesh. Maybe a mild, tiny little split. Thank you. Urapam. Anyone else who wants to answer? What about Iba? What about Eric? Kojumba is not here. Rajneshwar has answered already. Jalal has answered. Very good. There is no split, so then I'm also helpless. Big round of applause to the Cheerbati phenomena again. Splendid, perfect, very well performed. Proud of you. Why are all the statements here correct? Because first is totally right. It does connect. It does connect Arabian Peninsula to the Horn of Africa. Is it? Is that the case? We are talking about Bab el-Mandeb. It connects? Yes, it does. Arabian Peninsula to the Horn of Africa. That is only you. That is something you can see on the map. Second, it provides maritime access from Mediterranean Sea to Indian Ocean via the Suez Canal. That is exactly what it's doing. Look at the Mediterranean Sea. You come down the Suez Canal in Egypt and then the Red Sea, then Bab el-Mandeb, then Gulf of Aden and Indian Ocean. Correct. Third is correct. Absolutely. It's a new thing. So let me talk about it quickly. When I say Perim, when I say Mayun, then bacha, remember in future it is an island that's located inside Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Which country owns that? It belongs to Yemen. It belongs to Yemen. And remember, the Perim or the Mayun Island divides the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb into two channels. One, the eastern channel, which is very narrow and shallow. And the other is the western channel that's much wider and much deeper. That's also the main shipping route. Okay. So Bab el-Mandeb Strait also has two parts. Divided in two by Mayun Island, Perim Island. Eastern is narrow and shallow. It's not a common one. Western is more predominant, deeper and much wider. Yes, I'm coming to that, Satya. Much wider, so more popular. So whosoever wants to control the Perim Island, if anybody is able to control the Perim or Mayun Island, they can control the entire influence of Bab el-Mandeb. So will you remember this for future? Very well answered. Once again, a big clap. Eric Rajveer. What was the question, bache? Satya? I'm scrolling up for your question. If I can't find it, you may have to repeat and come again. Okay? Okay, here is it. If Iran closes all the choke points, how will they sell products and oil, and how will they earn revenue? How will they fund the war? But all these are usually proxy wars. Please understand that finance is never generated by a country on its own. There are very few countries, like for example US, or say for example China, who have the ready-made finance to actually undergo a full-scale war. Usually it doesn't happen that way. The money is always secured from some or the other partnership or ally. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is, Iran is not closing all these straits completely. It is closing these straits partially. It is using them like strategic tools of war. Today, as Iran felt the crunch, Iran has opened it up for India, for China, for Russia, and these are the major buyers of oil. Now, you only think, if Iran allows oil to go to China, to Russia, to India, to Japan, then these are the major buyers of the world. Then why is Iran suffering? Iran will not suffer. Plus, Iran has generations of weaponry, generations of war material ready. It has actually never faced a war like this before. 1979 was the last such major Islamic revolution. After that first time one open war is going on, Iran is heavily prepared for that. There is a massive decentralization. The money is not just Iranian money. The money is also coming through axis of resistance. There are multiple groups working parallelly. You see, so it's not exactly a loss for Iran. Iran is well prepared for the war. You think Iran is prepared today? When Iran signed JCPOA in 2015, Iran was already prepared in advance for an upcoming US attack. It was just a matter of time. It is in fact US that is not prepared to face such a big challenge from Iran. Okay, so Iran will not suffer so easily. What's your question? Correct. Only Strait of Hormuz is directly controlled by Iran. Rest like Bab el-Mandeb is all proxy control. Houthi controls that. Yemen controls that. They can try to disturb, but they can't choke completely. Do you get the point? They can't choke completely. It's about partial choking, selective choking, not 100% choking. Otherwise, why do you think India is undergoing Operation Urja Suraksha? If it is that difficult to go there, then anyways, India also would not have sent its naval fleet there. Yes? So Abraham Accord 2020 was a different agenda. Abraham Accord meant all these countries of West Asia, Saudi, Bahrain, they acknowledge the existence of Israel. They accept that Israel is an official country. That time they agreed, but today they realize the mistake. Now they have understood that what benefit did we get by acknowledging Israel? Israel keeps on attacking the Muslim community in Hamas. Anyway, it is a breakdown of Islamic solidarity. So Saudi Arabia is helpless right now. Plus, the more powerful Israel becomes, these countries are also not safe. Because then Israel will not let Iran survive. Today, if they have killed Iran, tomorrow, what's the guarantee they will leave Saudi or Qatar or UAE? Are these democracies? They are not democracies. So that is why Saudi is running to Pakistan now. Give me security. Everybody is hungry of security. They are not nuclear power. Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, they are oil rich. They don't have a strong military. Can you imagine the fear they are living in right now? That's why they keep running to countries like China for BRI. That's why they keep running to Pakistan for military security, and they keep supporting US because US promises them security. Who else will give them security? Iran is Shia Sunni factor. Israel, anyway, is a blind this thing. Israel will attack any country when it comes to territorial expansion. So there is massive insecurity. Is that clear? Oh, that's so sweet, Rajveer. Anytime. Okay. What was Shlok's question? No, I haven't seen it yet, but I will see it possibly in the upcoming week if my time permits. Okay. Wonderful. Quickly, let's proceed now. This was very well answered. So, one more round of applause. I'm really proud of this question, by the way, all of you. Very well done. Now, quickly, the next article. This is about reports are coming that there are Iranian drone attacks that are happening on a very important base in Saudi Arabia. Which base is that? This base is called Sultan, Prince Sultan Air Base. Prince Sultan Air Base. Who asked that? SMDA. SMDA. Strategic Mutual Defense Agreement, bacha. Yuvraj. Pakistan and Saudi. Saudi needs protection. That's why. Exactly. Only oil cannot help a nation, Satya. Very good. In fact, it becomes a resource curse in the long term. Very, very good. Very, very good. So quickly, let's proceed. Third article, what has happened? Another interesting thing has happened. It is actually a very sad thing that has happened. Please focus on the map and I'm coming back to the news. What happened now? Iran's missile under Operation True Promise 4, under Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, the army of Iran, the main warrior of Iran, it has launched multiple missile attacks on two targets. One, Israeli military positions. Two, more dangerous, American base in Saudi Arabia called as Prince Sultan Air Base. Can you please have a look on the map? Please, this is a map-based question. So everybody kindly please focus on the map, bacha. Everyone here. Iran has attacked Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Can we please have a look at Prince Sultan Air Base location? It is located right in the middle of the desert, Saudi Arabia. You can see the arrow there, Saudi Arabia. Please have a look at the location, bacha, please. Why did Iran do this? Iran says it is a retaliation for the attacks that are being done by Israel and US on islands like Kharg and Qeshm and many other important infrastructure in Iran across Persian Gulf. Why Prince Sultan Air Base is so important? Right now we have spoken about Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Now we are looking at Prince Sultan Air Base. Where is it and why is it so important? It is a major, I repeat, it's a major military base. It's a major military base of US, Mr. Trump, in West Asia. Why is it used? For air operation, surveillance, and troop deployment. For Saudi Arabia, it's a matter of security guarantee. Targeting Prince Sultan Air Base means Iran is directly challenging the presence of US in the entire West Asian region. What does it show as a part of the bigger picture? It shows that the conflict is expanding beyond Iran, beyond Israel, and completely today, Saudi and UAE and Yemen are a part of this ongoing war. It indicates the risk that if all these countries, Saudi, UAE, in fact, entire GCC, today moves against Iran in terms of financing military activities against Iran, the war is not going to end anytime soon. And what's the global impact? Not just a matter of insecurity for entire West Asian region, a matter of great risk when it comes to oil supply, energy routes, a danger to the people of diaspora, of Asian origin, African origin, American origin who live there, civilians are in danger. It will impact global oil prices. And if global oil prices are impacted, then food insecurity, food shortage will also ensue by next year for sure. So, what is happening now? In this situation, everyone is just expecting that finally US gives up on its tough conditions and calls for immediate withdrawal. But Mr. Trump being Mr. Trump, he's not ready for any withdrawal openly. And Iran being Iran will obviously not surrender. So sorry, the war continues. Now, the article is just this much, but I want to tell you a few more interesting things and I want you to remember those things. Yes? One thing you saw on the map, Prince Sultan Air Base. Now, my students like Satya, Vikash are also talking about Ras Laffan. What is Ras Laffan? Ras Laffan is in Qatar. LNG, LPG, security hub. Agreed? In past, I have also discussed with you two more important bases in Afghanistan. One was the Bagaram base. Another was the Phoenix camp. Both these were in near Kabul. That's a different thing. Now, quickly, let me talk about one very interesting thing related to the article. Do you know the names of all the important islands and archipelagos that are near Saudi Arabia? Do you know that? Do all of you know the name of important islands and archipelagos near Saudi Arabia? Can we quickly talk about them? Okay. So, which is the largest archipelago? What's an archipelago? A group of smaller islands. So, may I ask you, Bache, which is the largest archipelago, which is also sometimes known as Maldives of Saudi Arabia? It is called as Maldives of Saudi Arabia. It has a beautiful turquoise color sea and it's rich in biodiversity. Which is the name of this island? It's called largest archipelago near Saudi, Maldives of Saudi. It's a beautiful area for biodiversity. Its name is Farasan Island. I repeat, Farasan Island. Very good shlok. Farasan Island. You will remember that? Okay. Another important island can we talk about? Now there is another strategic island located in the Red Sea. Very good, Kundan. Located on the Red Sea. It is called Tiran Island. Tiran. Tiran Island. Tiran Island. It is in the Red Sea. It is in the Red Sea. And it was taken by Saudi Arabia back in 2016. Now, one more important island I want you to know about. This is known as Tarut Island. Tarout. Tarut Island. It is located in the east coast. It is one of the oldest inhabited areas in the Arabian Peninsula. It is rich for its civilization. Tarut Island. Last I want to talk about Shura Island. Shura. Shura Island. It's known for its tourism. under the Red Sea Tourism Project. Red Sea Tourism Project. So you have seen the map. All of these are related to the Red Sea. Yes, a quick re-encapsulation. The largest Maldive of the Saudi Arabia, Farasan Island. Second, Tiran Island. 3, Tarut Island. 4, Shura Island. So that's it for the small article. A quick question for you. Shura Island. Very good. With reference to the strategic locations in West Asia, consider these statements. 1. Qeshm Island lies in the Strait of Hormuz and belongs to Iran. Second. Oh, that's so sweet, Shlok. Thank you. Second. Mayun Island is located within Bab el-Mandeb Strait and belongs to Yemen. 3. Prince Sultan airbase is located in the eastern coast of Saudi Arabia facing the Persian Gulf. Map. Think of map, my dear bache, think of map. Prince Sultan airbase is located on eastern coast of Saudi Arabia facing the Persian Gulf. Think of the map. Think of the map. Map. You have seen the map. 4. Lebanon lies on the eastern coast of Mediterranean Sea. Lebanon, which is famous for Hezbollah, Litani River, lies on the eastern coast of Mediterranean Sea. Which of these are valid? Who initiated? Initiated from my dear Reshma Madhav, Sam, Vikash, Rajnishwar, Santosh, Vaibhav, Kundan, Lavish, Yuvraj, Kaizen, Munna, Priyanshu. There is a split. Urupam, Satya, Beirut is the capital. Very good. Bhubaneswar, Vimala, Vanga. But there is a split. There is a split here, Lavish, Kaizen. There is a split, Bache. What about Shinobi and my dear Eric? Nobody can escape my eyes. No answer yet. Shlok, Krishna. No need to be so happy. There is a mistake here. Okay, all right. Rajbir and Kundan are answering as well. So let's quickly clarify which is the answer. Yes, it makes me so happy. Now I can't even hide my happiness. I don't have that sophisticated level of, diplomacy in me that it's just so visible when I'm happy. Look at me. Okay, let's break it down. So all of you have really tried well, and those who've answered D have also 98% hit the right spot. So I wouldn't complain that I'm not happy. I'm still really happy with your performance, but there is a slight twist here, bache. Now, if you look at the first statement, Qeshm Island is in Hormuz and belongs to Iran. We know that. Because it is the arrow-shaped island which has the desalinization plant, so it's correct, right? Eliminate C. Second, Perim or Mayun Island is located in Yemen. We just spoke about it. I just also told you it divides Bab el-Mandeb into 2 parts. Yes, Reshma was commenting. Good to know. Second is correct. Something is wrong with the third one. What is wrong with the third one? Prince Sultan Air Base is on eastern coast of Saudi Arabia. Can we please run a quick check? Where is Prince Sultan? Where is Mr. Putin coming from? Okay. Prince Sultan Air Base. Please, all eyes on the map, bache. Please. Prince Sultan Air Base. Look. Yes, you are right. It is in Saudi Arabia. I agree. Agree. One of the largest military base of US in Saudi Arabia. Agreed. Iran has attacked. Agreed. But is it located in the coast? When I was showing you the map, I said, Bacha, please look at the location. It's in the middle of the desert. Didn't I say that? I said it's in the middle of the desert in Saudi Arabia. So how can you say that it's on the coast? Yeah, unfortunately, na Shlok, what to do now? We can't change its location. Let's change our understanding. It's not on the coast. It's in middle Saudi Arabia. Is that correct? So where is it located? It is located in the middle of Saudi Arabia. Very good, Kundan. Quite near the capital city of Riyadh. And it is located inside a small township called Al-Khajr. But that's not important for you. You just remember it's located in the middle. It's not a coastal area. What about the last statement? Is that correct? Yes. Where is Lebanon? You can see the location of Lebanon just above Israel, the tiny dot above Israel. Where is it? Mediterranean. Which coast of Mediterranean? Eastern coast. River Litani flows into Mediterranean Sea. Hezbollah lives in that area. Clear? Clear? Madhav, Krishna, Kundan, Reshma? Yes. Is it clear to everyone? All right. May I proceed with the next article? I love this question. I'm so happy. I think my hemoglobin just jumped up by 2-3 counts. Finally, you made me so happy. I'm really happy. I don't know why, but this is giving such a sadistic pleasure. Okay. Can we proceed with the next article? All right. Here comes your favorite celebrity part 2. No, part 3. Part 2 is Mr. Kim Jong. So now comes Mr. Trump. Oh, sorry, Mr. Putin. What is happening? Let's quickly understand. It's been a very long time we have not seen the Russia-Ukraine map. And the new students might be thinking, what is this Lady Jackson, Lady Zoo? What is that, Vikash? What is that, bache? Ramu? What all do you do? Lady Jackson and all of that. You have taught me also all these things. I don't know what is that. So now is the time to look at the map again. What's happening, bache? Well, unfortunately, just as the West Asia war is enraging at full glory, the Russia-Ukraine war is also not ready to end. Unfortunately, the global community has no time to give any attention to the war between Russia and Ukraine right now, because everyone is busy on just dealing with the Hormuz and el-Mandeb type of issues. But at the same time, we all know that between Russia and Ukraine, there is no peace as such. No peace right now. Nothing of that sort. So what has happened? A very interesting thing happened. Now, although this is about Mr. Putin, but I'm sorry, again, Mr. Trump has come in the picture here. Ludo Zach, yeah, exactly. Correct. Very good, Satya. Ramu, Vikash, absolutely. For new students also, bache, please learn this Ludo's accent. And I think your colleagues can explain you what does it mean. Once you learn this mnemonic, you will never forget the map. It's a brain genius of Vikash, Ramu, Satya, Terukula, Diptesh, Reshma. It's very good. Priyanshu. Okay, so what are we talking about? Mr. Trump comes in the picture. Mr. Trump has now finally told the leader of Ukraine, Mr. Zelensky, that if you want to end the war, if you want a ceasefire, if you want Russia to leave you alone, then do one thing. Immediately go and surrender the Donbas area. What is the Donbas area? Who spoke about it right now? Somebody just did. Satya did. Yes. What does Donbas mean? In the local language, Donbas means a basin of coal. It's the most coal and resource-rich area in the Russia-Ukraine border. Why will Ukraine surrender? Ukraine cannot surrender. Ukraine is concerned right now because Ukraine was a country which used to get tremendous support, weapons and money to continue the war with a big country like Russia, because the money came from NATO, because the money came from the US. Today, the money is not coming. Mr. Trump says NATO is useless. I am not providing security guarantees. Stop acting like beggars. Go, arrange your own security. I am not going to support the war in Ukraine forever. I am not going to do that. Because for him also, situation is paradoxical. On the one hand, Mr. Trump is supporting Ukraine with money to fight Russia. On the other hand, because of West Asia war, he is encouraging the global community to buy Ural oil. So there's a massive paradox in American policy right now. So Mr. Trump says, I am not going to support Ukraine by money or weapons anymore. I am not doing it, sorry. I'm not going to do it. So therefore he says, it's better you end this war. Nobody is going to give you any support, Mr. Zelensky. Go and surrender Donbas. And if you surrender Donbas to Mr. Putin, and if Mr. Putin agrees for a ceasefire, I am ready to give you security guarantee. Oh, what a joke, sir. If they are ready to give Donbas, then what will they do with security? It's like police is coming and telling me, ma'am, please give everything you have to the thief and then I will give you security. Then won't I ask what security will I need now? When all my money, all my assets I have given to the dacoits and thief, then what will I take from the police? What security will I want? Same thing is happening from Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky is now just thumping his head. He is like, sir, what are you saying? If I give Donbas to Russia, I am giving all my resources to Russia. Then why will I need security guarantee from you? Tell me. Think about it, sir. You are president. Think about it. What are you talking about? That's the concern. That's the concern of Ukraine right now. Ukraine's president, Mr. Zelensky, says if I give Donbas, it will weaken my complete defense system. Why? Please have a look at the left side map. You can see Donbas there. Where is Donbas? Donbas is in the Donetsk area. The second pink area from the top below Luhansk. This is only Ludo's accent. Below Luhansk, Donetsk. Donetsk has the coal basin Donbas, the area for which Mr. Putin is really crazy. He wants it. But Ukraine doesn't want to give it. If Ukraine gives that, Ukraine will not get any coal, any steel, any industrial supply. And then Ukraine's defense becomes very weak. It will mean Russia's influence will expand into Ukrainian territory all the way up to Kharkiv area. Ukraine can't afford that. Tomorrow, it could also mean a threat to European Union security because European Union will now come close to Russia if the buffer areas are captured by Russia. So therefore, Ukraine says no. And Ukraine says, what are you doing, sir? Why will I need security guarantee when I'm already done and devastated? If you want to give me now, no. I need it now. Later, what will I do with your security when Russia has everything? Are you cracking a joke? What are you doing? So why is US wanting this sudden weird thing right now? Because US is busy fighting the war with Iran. Because US is busy establishing Mr. Trump's goodwill across the world and in his own country. He has tremendous pressure coming from West Asian allies to end the war, from American people to end the war. The tariff issue is still unsolved. With India also, FTA is delayed. Critical mineral supply is becoming, demand is becoming next level because of the war. Again, complete dependence on China. He's tired. So he says, let's quickly settle the Ukraine war. Why to boil the blood? Finish it. Give Donbas, finish it. Let's not drag the war anymore. In between, who is happy? Mr. Putin is happy. Russia is happy now. Russia is slowly trying to copy the salami slicing policy of China. 2014, Russia had captured Crimea, the bottommost land that you can see on the left side map. That was 2014. The whole world retaliated. Russia was thrown out of the G8 by US and Russia was under severe sanctions. That's why Russian economy and Russian oil were all suffering badly. Today, things have changed. Russia from 2022 onwards also demands all these pink color territories, starting from the top Luhansk, then Donetsk, Donbas, then Zaporizhia, that's the key nuclear power plant of Ukraine, then Kherson, and then that's the main buffer area also for Eastern Ukraine. Eastern Ukraine means if this area is captured, entire European Union and the eastern part of NATO comes under threat. This area has oil terminals, ports like Odessa port, very important area for connectivity and natural reserves. So therefore, Russia will want it and Ukraine will not give it. And the war continues. Russia says, I am not agreeing for a ceasefire until I get complete Donbas and also Luhansk. Now, did you listen to this, Bache? Tanmay Krishna, Rajveer Arvind, did you listen to this shlok? Yuvraj, Reshma, Iba, Bulbul, did you listen to this, Eric? Today the demand has increased, Bache. Earlier it was Donbas. Yesterday Mr. Putin has said, I also want Luhansk. Look at Luhansk on the top. Now today he is asking for Luhansk and Donetsk. Tomorrow what is left? Tomorrow what is left? One by one all the areas will go. If Luhansk and Donetsk also go, then Crimea is already gone. What is left as a buffer area between Ukraine and Russia? Nothing is left. So next will be a complete capturing of Ukraine. And that's unfortunate. And that's why Ukraine doesn't want to surrender, Sumedh. That's why it doesn't want to surrender, Santosh. Yes, and the war continues. Yesterday, Russia has launched a severe attack on Ukraine. Severe. Ukraine is also depending on old systems like US missile interceptor Patriot for its self-defense. But Patriot is expensive. And unfortunately, once this one gets exhausted, US will not give another Patriot. Where will more Patriots and Thards come from? Already they are in demand because of West Asia. So conflict is not ending. And which means Russia is definitely taking an undue advantage of the oil profit that it's earning. Because if you noticed, I don't know how many of you noticed, but I noticed, a lot of people noticed. As soon as the price of Urul oil started increasing, As soon as Hormuz closed, Russia has become more aggressive in the war with Ukraine. That means more money is coming and it is being invested in the war. Clear? Is everyone clear? Now, before I show you the question, I would request you to also have a look at the right side map, please. Please have a look at the right side map as well. Please have a look at the right side map also. Left is only the area between Ukraine and Russia. Right is a broader area which shows you Europe and Russia both. Can you please have a close there on the border with Russia? Can you have a look at places like Belarus? Is there a buffer? Is the video buffering? Is it settled? Please confirm. Is it still buffering or is it working now? Please confirm. Now, all right. Thank you so much. Clear? Thank you so much. Yes, better not mess with global leaders, otherwise this happens. Now, fine. Can you quickly refresh? Can you quickly refresh, bache, please? Great. Thank you, Ram. Yes, buffer state I was talking about, and now Taithong is being hyper creative. He says from buffer state to your own internet started buffering, ma'am. Look. Okay. Coming back. Look at the boundary of Russia. Can you please see Belarus here? Now, Belarus is very important. I want you to focus on Belarus. Belarus is a very key ally of Russia. If you remember last year, bacha, I have spoken about a military exercise between Russia and its key ally Belarus that is called Exercise Zapad. I don't know how many of you remember. Exercise Zapad. Zapad exercises, yes, very good, Reshma. These were held between Russia and Belarus. Belarus is a key ally of Russia in the war against Ukraine. So please look at the boundary. Also look at the boundary of Poland here. Do you see where is Poland located? Poland is just next to Belarus. This is a very important country because it is absolutely at the boundary between major European Union nations, NATO nations, and Russia on the right. You can also see on the map Ukraine. So Russia, then here's Ukraine, then there are Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania. All these countries are the eastern countries of European Union and most of them still import Russian oil despite the sanctions on Russia. Clear? Can we now proceed with the question? If map is clear, question will also be clear. If map is not clear, question can be a problem. Let's try. With the reference to the Donbas region, consider the following statements. 1. It is located in eastern Ukraine and includes oblasts, that is regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. Second, the region lies along Ukraine's border with Poland. 3. It has been a major center of heavy industry and coal mining. Let's see which of these are easy. No, Priyanshu, it was my problem. Okay. Started from? Who started answering here? Is it Shlok? Yes. Shlok, Madhav, Priyanshu, Bhavna, Vanga, Vikash, Reshma, Rajneshwar, Veda, Ahilu, Santosh. No split? I was expecting that. Now no more shocks. I am resilient now. Yuvraj, Eric, Yogesh, Kundan, Krishna. It's like everyone answers B. Sumedh answers B. Moldova, the last country to join ISA. Thank you for that reminder, Vikash. That's very kind of you. Also, let's remember, I had asked you multiple times about countries like Moldova, countries like Slovakia, countries like Ukraine. You must know which of these are the members of EU or NATO. Very important for prelims. Now, Bhuvnesh, Arya, Vaibhav, Rajveer. So, which of these are valid? Of course, you are valid. You are correct. So, sitting applause to all of you. A big applause because all of you are right. As always, the cheer bati phenomena is happening. It will continue to happen. I am already immune and resistant to these shocks now. As soon as I thought it's tough, I understood that it is going to be 100% correct. Okay. Why is it B? Because second is totally invalid. First and third are correct. Second cannot be valid because talking about Donbas, Donetsk, does it lie along Ukraine's border with Poland? Absolutely not. We just saw the map. We know where is Donetsk. Where is Donetsk and where is Poland? They are two different areas. Look at Donetsk. Donetsk is on the eastern side of Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine. And Poland is on the western side of Ukraine. So there is no match between the two. Satya, no bache. Not standing ovation, except my sitting ovation. Standing ovation means in front of you, I will be like, I'll fall down. So that won't be possible. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Very well answered. One more round of applause. Very well answered. Very, very well answered. Really proud of you. Very good, Bacha. If this is how you understand map, prelims will be a cakewalk for you. Really happy. Really happy. No problem at all. Very well answered. Everyone, I think. There is no problem. Donbas is on the eastern Poland. Totally correct. It's on the eastern side of Ukraine. That's why it's the boundary of Russia and Ukraine. No, basic common sense, right? Now we are almost done. Let me quickly introduce the last celebrity of my class and then I'll take your leave. And yes, here comes the big brother, Mr. Kim Jong. Kim Jong-ji is here. All right, what's happening? We just spoke about Belarus. We saw the map of Belarus. Didn't we? We saw the map of Belarus. Now, because we have seen the map of Belarus, we also discussed about exercise Zapad. Reshma was the first one to remind about that. Zapad means Belarus and Russia are very close friends. I also told you long back during Chernobyl disaster. It was Belarus who paid the price for being the friend of Russia. Majority radioactivity was experienced by Belarus, not Russia. So Russia, Belarus are close friends. Who said that? Golu Molu, my goodness. Now, you people make these comments and my tablet goes for a toss. I'm the one who's invoking enmity with the global leaders. Okay. All right, that's so sweet, Satya. Okay. So talking about this person, Mr. Trump, Mr. Kim Jong-ji, as I call him with respect. What has happened? What has happened? Okay. So on the map here is North Korea, South Korea. We also understand that North and South Korea are divided by the 38th parallel. This is the Korean Peninsula, often in the news because of a conflict. We know that entire Korean Peninsula is also a proxy war. North Korea is a country that's strongly supported by nations like Russia and China. Yes, Tai Thong. In fact, I'm amazed. I was having a Zoom interaction with one student and she said the same thing. Ma'am, Mr. Kim Jong-ji is losing weight. I said, please, that's not UPSC focus. He loses weight or gains weight. Why are you telling me that? I'm shocked at your observations. Focus on the map. Why are you focusing on his size? I gave her a nice scolding yesterday. Okay, all right. Coming back to Korean Peninsula. North Korea is a proxy of China and Russia, and South Korea is a complete proxy of America, USA. Yesterday, we had a discussion, in fact, 2-3 days back, about the exercise, a joint military exercise that was happening between US on the one side and South Korea on another. That made North Korea very worried that what if it's an attempt to capture the territory or invoke an attack towards North Korea? Yes. So what's the news right now? So news is that Mr. Kim Jong-un and Mr. Alexander Shenko, they together, he's a leader of Belarus, they together have signed a friendship and a cooperation agreement with each other. So this agreement is happening between Belarus and North Korea. Didn't we just see Belarus near Poland? A key ally we know. We also know a very important area because it's the boundary typically of European Union and the Russian area. Correct? So now it is that Belarus and this North Korea that have signed a friendship treaty with each other. So why do you think they will sign a friendship treaty with each other? Why do you think? Obviously, because North Korea is an ally of Russia. He's a great supporter of Russia. Great support. So that's why he has signed a deal with a great friend of Russia. Both are Russian supporters. Both are Russian allies. Belarus also, North Korea also. What's the aim of this new agreement? The aim is to increase ties politically, economically. Major aim is not economic political, though major aim is security. Defense and security relationship. Why? Now you might wonder, why does North Korea need a security guarantee? He's the dictator. He needs, because he knows that even Iran was also almost like a theocratic dictatorship. Venezuela was also like a dictatorship. So was Cuba. So was Mexico. When all those dictators were terminated, then nobody is purely safe right now. Recently, when US and South Korea conducted military exercise around North Korea hasn't been feeling safe at all. At all. So therefore, North Korea needs some security and defense pact with its pro-nations like China and Russia. So that's why all this is happening. What is so common between Belarus and North Korea? One thing that's common is anti-US sentiment, Western hatred, and a complete disapproval of sanctions that are imposed by US. Both these countries, including Russia and China, have a strong feeling that US is trying to behave like United Nations. And it has no right to impose embargoes and sanctions on other nations. So they strongly oppose that together. They both oppose US and Western influence over naval trade, sea trade, economic petrodollar dominance. They both support Russia in the war with Ukraine. So, therefore, they have taken a very strong anti NATO position right now together. So, for North Korea also, ever since Mr. Kim Jong un has come back to power with a full majority. Now, did you see the elections in North Korea, by the way? Did you see the elections? About 96 to 97 people have voted for Mr. Kim Jong un. So after winning, rather than being angry, he became very emotional. He said, I'm deeply hurt. Who are these 3% people who have not voted for me? Now you imagine what fear they must be going through. If the data is leaked out, it's a dictatorship. He won a landslide victory, but still he lagged 3%. It was not 100%. So now he's asking a question, who are these 3 to 4% people who have not voted for me? And imagine if he tries to investigate that, what will happen to those people? So right now he's showing a lot of emotion, but what's the reality we don't know. So who are these people who have not voted? Where is the courage coming from? Who are these people? Okay, yes, absolutely. That's very interesting to know. Where are these people? Are they even alive now? We don't know who are these people. Okay, so now interesting thing is that North Korea has clearly said, I support Russia in the war and Russia must take Donbas area from Ukraine. What about Belarus? Belarus has showed a complete support. Achha, is it 0.7%? That's what I was wondering. How come it's 3 to 4%? Where are guts and courage coming from? How come 4% people have the guts not to vote for him? It's 0.7%, Vikash says. Okay, fine, still gutsy people. Okay, maybe that's why he was very upset. That who are these 0.7% people and how dare they? Who are these people? Okay, so maybe they also need some kind of special intensive revision in their country now. Okay, all right. Okay, coming back, why is Belarus supporting North Korea? Because you know that Belarus has been one country that has always allowed Russia to use its territory as a platform to launch attack against Ukraine. Now, you might be wondering why. I think map will be the best explainer of this doubt. Have we not seen the map of Belarus recently? We did. Belarus is right here. And where is Ukraine? Just southwards. So what has Belarus done from Russia? Belarus has been able to allow Russia to use its territory to attack Ukraine. Okay, that's the beauty of this partnership. So both of them are anti-Western, highly pro-Russia, highly pro-China. So why does it matter really? It matters because right now the world is again getting divided into clear-cut poles. One is the Western pole, led by US, supported by NATO and European Union, supported by many West Asian countries which are pro-US, Qatar, Saudi, Bahrain, Cyprus, or you can talk about, say, Kuwait, all these supporters, Israel. On the other hand, there is the enemy camp. Now, which countries are there in the enemy camp? The emerging geopolitical group that is opposed to the US is Russia, China, North Korea, Belarus. All these have also diplomatically supported China in its 9-line policy. What's the goal these countries have? To create a multipolar world. Somewhere secretly, all of them support Iran in the war, just that they are not taking any direct action. Only Mr. Kim Jong un had the power, had the guts to openly offer support to Iran, but Iran declined. Iran said, no, you deal with your own issues, we can manage with our own issues. So once more, the world is becoming highly polarized, and that's what this article is trying to pitch for. So I think we are mostly done, but now with today's lecture, just that there was a small piece of news coming. I was wondering whether I should take this tomorrow or today, but I thought, okay, let's just talk about it in 2 lines. Wouldn't take much time. So again, we are talking about antimicrobial resistance. India has launched AMR 2.0. What is antimicrobial resistance? When microbes like virus, bacteria, protozoa, fungal, they don't die and they don't respond to various categories of antibiotics. A very good example could be MDR, XDR, TB, where the TB bacterium mycobacterium doesn't respond to rifampicin. It doesn't respond to most of the commonly used drugs to cure TB, not even the last line of medication. And that's a very dangerous phenomenon. This article is talking about the case study of typhoid. Once again, typhoid is a bacterial infection caused by the bacteria S. typhi. Why is it problematic? Because India has seen about rupees 123 billion getting lost in 2023 only on managing typhoid. Because typhoid is also now becoming antimicrobial resistant type of typhoid. Unfortunately, 87% cases, very good Vikash, do not respond to rifampicin also, to isoniazid also, and they are not even responding to the last category of drug called fluoroquinoline drugs. It's not responding to any of these drugs. So this is causing 87% of disease burden. Unfortunately, children from poor families are worst impacted, the worst impacted. And children below 10 years are accounting for more than half of the medical expenditure that's going in from families into typhoid management and hospitalization fee, of course. Now, another thing is, yes, Salmonella typhi. We often call it S. typhi. Very good, Munna. Now, the problem is that families who are bearing the burden of these disease are all into out-of-pocket expenditure. They do not have any access to government insurance in the form of PMJAY, whether you call it Ayushman Bharat Bacha, or whether you say any private insurance. They don't have that. And that makes them very vulnerable. About 91% of expenses are directly paid by the household in dealing with such disease. 70,000 families have faced disastrous health expenditure consequences. They have had to sell their property, jewelry, and mortgage their assets in order to get cure for the disease. That's unfortunate. So, what is the implication of this news piece? The implication is that if we can add typhoid conjugate vaccine, TCV, into the national vaccination or immunization program like Mission Indradhanush, then that will be much better. Because if children have a first line protection against typhoid, it's much better rather than not having a vaccine later in life, getting the disease, because the disease itself is antimicrobial resistance version of typhoid. It is not responding to the high quality drugs either. So one thing is, give vaccination as mainstream. Second, please allow more private sector research in making medications quickly for MDR, XDR cases of such diseases. The third thing, of course, is inform people about the dangers of self-medication. Last but not the least, improve the nutritional requirements of people from vulnerable communities. Expand public healthcare sector. That's all this article has to say. That's all this article has to say. Okay? All right? You can get it from the Telegram channel, bacha. Okay. So can I take your leave now? Okay, I think we are done with today's news coverage. There was no Hindu, but I think we did have some fun here talking about various kinds of diverse news pieces. But tomorrow Hindu will come. There's no festival tomorrow. A very happy Ram Navami to all of my students. May God bless each one of you and all your dreams come true and you become the most successful, the most honest officer, so that till I'm alive, I can just see you and feel pride all my life. Lots of love and blessings. I'll catch you tomorrow at 9:30. Study hard, make a timetable, focus. Do not waste time on short content. Allow yourself lengthy content though. In terms of video also, that's fine. Okay then. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Absolutely, Arif. Food quality, contamination are important issues. Can't deny that. Hindu did not come, bache, because of Ram Navami festival. I think majority number of times they don't have a publication just the next day after the festival. They don't do that. So even I came to know in the morning it's not there. Initially, I thought whether I should come because even you people are busy for prelims. Then I thought, how does it matter? We can still discuss news. It's a good opportunity, really. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Codename Conscious.